What does the best-selling book, Metronomics, say about ensuring your leaders are actively living and defending a healthy culture? If you caught my last 5-minute growth tip, is your leadership team driving a healthy culture? Then you know I have zero patience for the idea that culture is soft or fluffy. We talked about the growth tax, that invisible, soul-sucking drain on your profits caused by misaligned leaders and unproductive conflict. But as a CEO of a mid-sized company, you're likely asking, Jean-Guy, I get the theory, but how do I actually operationalize this without it becoming another culture project that fizzles? That is why I want to talk to you about Metronomics by Shannon Susko. If my previous article gave you the what and the why of a healthy culture, Metronomics provides the high-performance engine to drive it. It reinforces everything we discussed, from defining behaviors to the power of coaching, and wraps it into a cohesive playbook. In my previous article, I argued that you must move from treating culture as a slogan to treating it as a disciplined system. Susko's Metronomics framework takes this to the next level. She argues that a company is a human system, and just like any complex system, it needs a repeatable rhythm to stay healthy. In the book, culture isn't just about feeling good, it's about predictability. When your executive team is culturally aligned, you can predict how they will react to a crisis or an opportunity. This alignment helps you scale without the wheels falling off. Let's talk about each of the 4 practices Susko recommends. Number 1, the verbs behind the values. I previously shared that a core value is only real if you're willing to hurt for it, meaning you'd fire a top producer who violates it. Metronomics reinforces this by insisting on behavioral clarity. Susko emphasizes that A players aren't just people who hit their numbers, they are people who live your values effortlessly. By defining the specific behaviors or the verbs for each value, you remove the subjectivity. Metronomics suggests that if you can't see the value in action, it doesn't exist. Defining specific behaviors makes your culture tangible and observable, exactly as we discussed. Number 2, the power of the rhythm of sharing stories. Remember when I suggested starting your meetings by sharing core value stories? Metronomics calls this part of the cultural system. Susko's research shows that the most successful CEOs create a cadence of accountability. By publicly praising behaviors that align with your values, you aren't just being nice, you're reinforcing the rules of the road. In Metronomics, this storytelling is a non-negotiable part of the weekly and monthly meeting rhythm. It keeps the culture top of mind so it doesn't gather dust on a break room poster. Number 3, coaching and the quarterly coaching review. One of the biggest takeaways from my previous tip was the need to coach for cultural alignment using the quarterly coaching review. Metronomics is obsessed with this process. Susko argues that a leader cannot be high-performing if they have a clear gap in their cultural fit. The book demonstrates that when you use the quarterly coaching review, you move the conversation away from, I feel like you aren't a team player, to, here's the behavioral standard, and here's where the gap lies. Number 4, top grading to protect the culture. Finally, we touched on using top grading to replace low culture fit leaders who can't make the shift. Susko is a massive advocate for this. In Metronomics, she shares that all team members must behave according to the core values, ensuring the culture remains strong, and that top grading is the way to confidently replace leaders who can't meet that standard. The book provides the data to back up what I share. Standard hiring is a coin toss, but a disciplined process like top grading moves your success rate from 25% to 90%. It forces honesty and ensures that the person you hire today won't be the growth tax you're paying tomorrow. As I mentioned in our last discussion, a healthy culture is the connective tissue of your entire business. It speeds up decision-making and execution. And without it, your best people, your A players, will burn out or leave. Metronomics proves that when a CEO commits to these 4 practices with their executive team, defining behaviors, sharing stories, coaching for culture, and hiring leaders for fit, culture stops being a poster on the wall and starts being your greatest competitive advantage. Now let's get your executive team driving your culture. If you're a Prairie CEO ready to stop paying the growth tax and start aligning your executive team to drive a healthy culture, I'm here to help. Whether it's implementing these tactics or fine-tuning what you're already doing, let's make sure your leadership team is truly aligned. In the next 5-minute growth tip, I'll share the story of one of the clients we've worked with in this area and others. If you're a Prairie CEO who wants to grow a thriving company, team, and life more quickly, more easily, and with less stress and headaches, please contact me via email or on my website. I hope you found this useful.